Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Engine Builder Show. Today's episode will be quite different because you will be joining us tapping into Gabe's morning routine. My advice, bring a jacket because it's going to be cold. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and as always, enjoy the show. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn. Good morning, everyone. I thought today we would do a little bit of a different episode, and I would share with you some parts of my morning routine that I really enjoy and value, and I'll just share with you why I do them and why they're helpful, to me. And that way, if any of this inspires you and helps you create a morning routine that will help you be successful, then that's great. And in the worst case scenario, you'll just think I'm crazy, and that's okay too. But so to start out, I can't film this at the normal time that I do it because I usually get up about 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I go for a walk. And there's a park. You can probably see a little bit of it. There's a park. There's like a ridge. If you can see it, like right at the tree line there, there's a ridge, and that's part of the path. So the park is right behind my house, but I actually just drive around the corner to go and take a walk. And I take a walk for about 30 minutes, and I do a few different things on my walk. One of them is sometimes I'll just walk in silence and think, and let it just be quiet time, which I really enjoy. Oftentimes I will listen to an audiobook so that I can kind of progress through listening to an audiobook, because I'm usually reading a couple paper books, reading something in Kindle, and listening to an audiobook simultaneously over the course of the week. It's just something that I enjoy doing. Or sometimes I'll just listen to music, but it's in the wintertime, it's very dark. But the nice thing is, with snow, and my eyes pretty quickly adjust to the dark, and so I have a really peaceful, quiet walk. So that's the first thing that I do shortly after getting up. I get up and drink about 30 ounces of water to start. I read an entry out of the Daily Stoic, which is one of my favorite books to read every morning. Then I go for my walk, which is about half an hour, and then when I come back, I very quickly get in the hot tub here. So this is my hot tub. You can probably see some of that, but I get in my hot tub always like 6 days out of the week, often 7 days out of the week, because I like to get in here and meditate. I use an app called Headspace to meditate, and so I'll sit in here for 10-15 minutes and meditate and get nice and warm. I actually, even when like today's a pretty mild day compared to some of the other days I get in, but today it's about 16 degrees out. And I'll get in here, meditate, and by the time I'm done meditating, I'm usually pretty warm and actually almost sweating, because even though my head and shoulders are out of the hot tub, my body stays pretty warm. And so that's this part is a little bit of the easier part of my morning routine. And in a second here, I'm going to show you the next part that I do. All right, so this is the next part I do after I meditate. I'm in the hot tub, get warmed up in there. I come into, this is my side porch, see if you can see this easier, and this is my cold plunge that I got from an awesome company, thecoldplunge.com. They're awesome over there. And so I've never filmed this, while I do at the same time, so this should be interesting. But the water is about 45 degrees, which is nice and cold. It's 16 degrees outside. It's probably even a little bit colder here on the porch. And so I take a deep breath and get in, and then I do a short cold plunge before getting back in the hot tub. I typically go a couple minutes, but we'll see how long I can go and hold this and film. So here we go. So the goal in the cold plunge is to regulate your breath and just to absorb the cold and just let the cold do its work, which talking and doing this at the same time is always fun. But I typically stay in here for what I usually do, and I won't film both of those today, but what I usually do is I'll come in here for about 2 minutes after I meditate, and then I'll go back in the hot tub. And then I'll stretch and warm up, and then I'll come back in and finish my kind of morning routine as far as exercising and being outside and doing plunging with a 3-minute plunge. But for right now, we'll stick with probably about a 2-minute one, because it's a little hard to hold this talk and not shake. But for me, the benefits of cold plunging have been that it really helps me understand that a little bit of positive adversity every morning helps me be really well prepared for the day. It helps me remember that there's really not a whole lot that's going to go on that's as uncomfortable as this, because right now it's starting to it starts to tingle and burn a little bit with the cold sensation, which is something that I like, but it is uncomfortable. And every time before I get in here, I go, man, I don't want to do this again. But I do it because it really, for me, has been really healthy personally. It definitely cuts down inflammation. It helps my circulatory system. I sleep better. I mean, it reduces stress. There's just so many positive things about it. There's a really good book that I'd recommend called What Doesn't Kill Us, and I believe the author is Scott Carney. If you look that up, you can learn a lot more about what he's researched as far as cold plunging, but for me, it's been really beneficial. One of the things I do too, and I guess we're almost up here to 3 minutes, so I guess I could go longer and talk. One of the things that I always do too is go underwater. So we'll see how this actually films, but I like to go underwater and get my head cold too, because that just makes I'm getting the full experience. So here we go. So now that I'm very red, as you can see, and nice and cold, what I really enjoy doing is going back in my hot tub, because that contrast between the cold and the hot, in a positive way, for me anyway, shocks my system. And from the reading and research that I've done, it actually releases stem cells from your bones and helps you it's, for me anyway, very helpful. So now getting back in, what's really fun is the hot, stingy cold. It's just a really interesting sensation. But yeah, I do that every morning, and then after I get back in here, I will stretch and just do some more thinking about the day that's coming up, and then I'll go back in and do a 3-minute cold plunge, and then I typically will go inside after that and do 20 push-ups, do some leg lifts, get my body warmed up, because that helps me come back up to normal temperature. And that is one of my most favorite parts of my morning routine. So I'm curious, and you can let me know down below, what are your morning routine, the things that you do in your morning routine? What are the things that help you stay on track, get focused, be healthy? Even just starting with one little thing. I know mine's a little bit extreme at this point, but even just starting with one positive thing like drinking more water is a huge positive step that you can take to help yourself be prepared for the day, healthy, and set routines that will help you be successful in life and business, in my opinion. So hope you enjoyed this little kind of snapshot of some of the things I do in the morning, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.